even low-speed corners now. You know, it's this first season that the front wings are actually not homologated anymore. We're already like super far behind. The suspension, everything. We're kind of really trying to push things, but it's also really kind of not working out too well for us. Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to another episode on Motorsport Manager with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to the end of our first race of the third season in Motorsport Manager. Welcome to the end of the Black Sea Grand Prix. As you can see, things went somewhat, well, mediocre for us in the last race, call it that. Very much also down to the fact that we went for a quite high-risk strategy and it didn't quite work out that well for us in the end. We tried undercutting the AI by stop with our newly improved tyre wear conditions and everything else in between, and it somehow nearly worked out, but then it also didn't quite, and at the end of the day, you know, we didn't really quite get the result that we wanted. Nonetheless, I would say it wasn't a terrible first race for the season. We were semi-competitive, I would say. I mean, given that the strategy was a little botched, I would argue that 13th spot for Hong is still not the worst thing in the world, and we were pretty much able to hold on to dear life in the Grand Prix. So we're off to an interesting start, I would say, for the season. If we have a quick look here at the standings, you will also be able to tell that we are very much in the last place, but at least tied with Archer BMR. And, well, we will continue into, well, our factory to go and improve the cars, to hopefully go and push things a little further, get some more reliability up and going, get new parts developed, and importantly, set ourselves up for some more success, because I really want to finally use this season to get somewhere. You know, it's our third season, and we can't keep just chilling down at the bottom of the grid. That's just really not how it should be going. We really need to go and get ourselves somewhere slowly but surely. Weird race to buy yourself a shirt with Andre Gomez's name on it when he's in 19th spot, and Hong Liao just said we can do a lot better than that. So, you know, we'll just trust his judgment there, and surely the next race is going to go a lot better, right? We'll see about that. In any case, let us go and get ourselves back into here and have a little look at what all changed. Now, before we get going on this entire episode, though, if you're new around here, and if you do, of course, happen to enjoy this very episode, you want to stay around for more in the future, please make sure to go ahead and smash that subscribe button right down below. That would really, really mean a ton. We are crawling on our way to 1,000 subs currently on the channel, and every single person does a ton for that. Now, looking at everything, I mean, Gomez hasn't really been improving. Hadn't really expected that. You know, he's pretty much at his peak. Doesn't go much further than that. Hong is slowly but surely crawling along. I mean, he's still 19 years of age, so he's got tons and tons of time ahead of him, but he is slowly but surely improving. That's nice. Cornering actually about to go up another level. Same as focus, same as fitness, so that is quite good indeed. And hopefully then in a race or two, maybe, you know, that does a little something for us as well. Chairman not totally happy, as we came in 10th, I think, as opposed to his expectation of 9th, but I mean, technically speaking, we were tied, so it's not really that terrible. Going past that, we just lost $1 million on this race. We really kind of need some more money, but I'm sure we'll get there. My job security is still amazing, which is absolutely beautiful, but fingers crossed that we can do a little better next time around. We will absolutely reject any sort of interview given our past experiences. And that's pretty much that. Now, looking at the car, I mean, first things first, we do have a new engine in the design pipeline, so that's going to be an important one. We do want to get another one going after that as well, I think. Munich is in 24 days, which I think is also not really something that we're developing the engine for, because as you can see right here, it's more of an acceleration, medium speed corners kind of track, and we're already more looking towards Milan, because you've got to realize that the engine's taken another 9 days to develop. Then it's not at all reliable, not at all got any power bonuses, so then it's going to be like 15 days to the Munich Grand Prix, while at the same time the majority of the car parts aren't really even reliable either, so, you know, kind of just balancing things out for ourselves there. Going from that, we do not have any new sponsoring slots opening up yet. It's going to be quite important, of course. We were talking about that in the last episode, I think. We do need to get some extra money from those. And honestly, in terms of Racing Series, we're just going to go and sort by this. And we're going to continue scouting through the Asia Pacific Super Cup Series. In terms of the pit crew, everybody does seem still quite relaxed, so that's all quite fine. Let us go ahead and continue till when the car repair completes, and then we go from there. First things first, scouting report finished again. Let's go for the next one, and we will go and have a little look at what is in the pipeline for parts improvements. Now, this one's actually quite interesting, right? Because technically speaking, we're developing a new engine. So I would say that whatever is the weakest engine, we do not continue improving the reliability on it, because that's quite surely going to get replaced by whatever the new engine is. So no real need to waste time on that. And you can see here 3 days before the race to completion time on that, we'll definitely only stop at like 80% or something. We won't push it all the way. And then I do have a strong feeling, well, we do actually have the suspension now. We do want to kind of sort of get ready. Not sure if we'll get it ready in terms of the performance part, but at least in terms of reliability, I would like to get it to a usable point for the Munich Grand Prix. So we do have to manage that a little bit, and then on the other hand side, everything past that, you know, the engine is going to be the main part of the show. We'll just keep checking in here every 1 or 2 days till... How has nothing changed here? Oh, that's a bit weird. Let me... Yep, nothing changed. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that engine is at 80%, which I think is the status that we're keeping it at for the time being. I think we're keeping the brakes at this level as well, because we do now want to make sure that we get this suspension bit up to snuff for the race. Gearboxes are actually actually homologated parts now, which is something I totally forgot. So we can't make any improvements there for the Grand Prix. Front wing, in fact, would be something that we can do. And the reliability, I have to say, is quite low there. So that may be something that we do want to look at pushing as well in order to get all our reliability in line and time. This bit of suspension also, but first things first, let's push the better one, shall we? So, scouting-wise, you know, continuing right away to scout some. And the engine design, in fact, is now also finished, which is nice, which is beautiful. We can have a little look at what the part is now at 40%, 188. So we do kind of need to push that engine reliability as well. I would kind of like to look at already designing another engine now. We do all know that we're absolutely low on budget, so I don't want to be overdoing it here with parts development, but I do feel that we just kind of need to take the money and push through with it for the time being to try and get the engine pushed a good bit, because we are really quite a bit behind here. We'll be taking this. I don't want any risk levels, to be honest, so that should be the approach. A minus 22 max, we will never ever want that. So that's this whole great line. I'm absolutely not liking it with this guy, but anyways, let's build it like that, and hopefully that's going to get us somewhere. It's freaking expensive though, I don't like it. We really need to watch our finances. I mean, we're just about to head for the second race of the season. We're already in quite the tough position, so I do definitely need to keep that in mind. Now, in terms of reliability and everything, I mean, we do have to say that the current suspension bits were also already quite low. So I would say we mix the two of these, and we try and get both of these parts somewhat ready for the race, right? Let's see how that bit goes. I think there's a different race coming up now. What's going on? First things first, we can scout another person. No, that was just the scouting. Okay. Let us go back to this screen so we can keep an overview of the parts. 62% now on the reliability of that suspension bit, so that's quite good. Definitely going Gomez way, of course. Octane Racing, pushing through with new development centers and stuff, so good for them, I guess. We will try and focus on ourselves, though. Low speed corners. New front wing. I mean, you know, I would love to. It's not like I have the money currently, so we need to see. Hopefully we do get some when the sponsorship slots open up, and hopefully we also manage to hit some sponsorship goals to kind of offset all that cost that we are incurring currently. Now, let's go. And, oh my god, financial management concerns already. Really not doing good, are we? We're really not doing good on that end at all. Well, not all too happy, of course, but we will have to keep it at that for now. We'll just push these through. We'll just push this part reliability stuff through till the end. What we do need to do is we just need to quickly fit all the appropriate parts to the respective cars. So, we will give a Hong this engine right here, and we'll provide Gomez with that one right there. You know, mixing that up a little bit. The front wings we can't do much about currently, unfortunately. And then we will go and push Hong to the new suspension, giving Gomez Hong's old suspension, which is unfortunately still a little bit unreliable, but otherwise in terms of performance, you know, quite well on par. So that's decent-ish, I guess. The brakes, at least, you know, not totally going up in flames anymore, at least not instantly. So slowly but surely advancing on that reliability, you can see, I hope. I guess the plan is that we're bringing about everything to, you know, around 80% reliability. Afterwards, you focus on pushing the performance of the individual parts, always, of course, you know, accounting for when newly developed parts come in to make sure that those are also up to snuff. And then when that's all kind of sorted, we go on from there. So, hopefully that works out well for us. Another person scouted. We're nearly done also with the Asia Pacific Super Cup, which is insane. But cool. I can live with it. Looking at the car before we go for our travel, did we get any? Yes, we did get some final points, so that's quite nice. 82% rather for this bit of suspension, 79% for Hong's new engine. So I would say that is quite acceptable indeed. And then we do need to make sure to push that performance in the future as well. Looking at the grid comparison, maybe real quick. Did we just lose out? We were higher up before we put in the new engine, weren't we? Are the other teams faster at developing these engines compared to us even? I am really unhappy with how that stuff's going, to be honest. I mean, I can't quite figure out why we're losing out on this kind of race now, to be honest. I mean, we kind of just pushed our overall engine performance a bit. Of course, you know, we need to make sure to actually improve the performance too. But Jesus Christ, are we still lacking on the engine side of things? I really hope that we can catch up to that. Even low-speed corners now, you know, it's this first season that the front wings are actually not homologated anymore. We're already, like, super far behind. The suspension, everything. We're kind of really trying to push things, but it's also really kind of not working out too well for us. So I'm a bit unhappy with that, I have to say. And I mean, maybe we also need to consider just getting a new designer, because I mean, looking at his score, maybe that is the entire reason of why we are struggling that much. He does have a contract going though for another 21 months. Who do we have available in terms of designers that would be, you know, maybe considering to come our way? Like this Callum guy, maybe, you know. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at the cost of getting that dude. It's absolutely mad. I mean, actually affording this guy is a whole nother story. And on average, I wouldn't even say that our designer is all too bad, you know. Most of these are like sitting around 1 to 2.5 stars. It's like these 2 breakouts, but otherwise, you know. I don't know. In any case, let us go and head on to the Munich Grand Prix for our training. All the parts should be fitted. Let's double check though that we actually didn't make any mistakes here. Weak parts sorted out. This is all the same. Yeah, so that's all decent, all up to snuff, and hopefully somehow going to work out for us. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's go hit that continue button. Sponsor-wise, we're going to take the 10th and above one, you know. Just trying to go minimize our cost, and let's see how it works out for us. Now, I mean, and I'm kind of not too pessimistic now, I guess, because given that the gearboxes just kind of got homologated, and this is quite important for the Munich Grand Prix, I guess, at least in that sense, we won't be losing out on performance compared to anyone else. The front wings just came off of the homologation, so everyone's still quite close in terms of the performance of those, and that's quite important, so that's good. The only thing that I guess it looks like we're quite far behind on then is suspension, so we need to see just how that works out now. Fingers crossed that somehow, you know, we can make it work for ourselves. Now, getting the car set up for the training. First things first, it does look like we need to add like 1.5 degrees on both of these wings, to be honest, to make these guys even remotely happy. I mean, that looks more like 2 degrees. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of aero. Okay, looks like well, I mean, that is a lot of medium speed corners, some slow speed corners as well. I'm actually pulling the wrong thing here. We'll make the suspension a little softer, just to kind of be a little less on the border of things, and we'll see what they say in terms of feedback, I guess. I'll leave the speed balance here for the time being. I think, you know, we can go in it like this, and then we kind of see what our drivers think. So, same deal for Hong then. 2 degrees extra on both the wings, and then something like that. Cool. Let's go from there. We'll give that a try, and we'll see how it goes for them. So, Gomez. We'll do the fast stints early, right? And then a long stint at the end, where we also take the times and everything, so we can just literally spam send them out like that, and get all the strategies up right here, and then out. There you go. So, outlap we're just literally going to skip. There's no feedback, no nothing to be had there for us, so no reason to wait for that here. And then this one is going to be the interesting one. So, gear ratios, first and foremost, are looking quite good. Secondly, Hong just being overtaken by the slower car and slower driver, so it's a great sign, of course, right? Okay, moving on from our slight bit of disappointment, let's bring these guys in before they actually go through another lap. So we do need to make sure now, for the time being, to go and adjust the cars according to their needs. Now we can go and get that knowledge going. Downforce doesn't seem to be quite on par yet, so do we need even more? Oh my god, I think we need another ½ degree of downforce, to be honest. It's quite insane, isn't it? Okay, and then handling-wise, I'm actually not sure. We'll just make it a little softer for the time being. And just kind of, you know, see if it improves it or worsens it, and then past that we will know what to do. We'll actually keep the set of softs on, because we're not really looking for times now anyways. And the thing is, in fact, if you just change tyres for no reason at all, I mean, I don't care about not having the tyres for the race, because honestly, you've got way too many tyres in this game anyways. But, and that's the important point, I guess, at the end of the day, if you do change them, it does take extra time to change them in the pits. Time that we can't spend on tracks, so that's, I guess, the issue a little bit here. Now, looking at this, we'll just kind of do similar... Wait, no. Similar changes, if I am able to what we did for Gomez. So, just making the suspension a little softer and seeing how he reacts. Otherwise, Hong seems to be content with everything that we've done, so we'll leave it like that. We won't change the tyres for the exact same reasons, and then we are going from there. Now, Hong, of course, being done a little faster. Why? Oh, yeah, right, because we didn't change the wings, right? He was happy with those. So, well, there we go. Quick little speed through the entirety of this kind of stuff now. And I can kind of just go and... okay, handling is apparently worse. Aero is way better for Gomez, that's great, and I guess his feedback on the handling is going to be the same. So we're bringing them in, we're going to make those last few adjustments. We are actually going to give them fresh tyres then, and then, you know, we can go for a little bit of a longer run, also trying to go for some times and everything, and we'll go from there. So, handling-wise, yeah, I mean, it's definitely poor. So, we'll basically just use the previous setup here, and we'll go more on the... Okay, yeah, and we'll go more on the hard suspension side of things, and that should kind of push us the right way. With Hong, we're going to go and get 6 laps of fuel in there, and we're going to go and get some softs on. Well, some fresh softs, call it that instead, and there he goes, and then Gomez can come in as well, and we'll make, well, similar adjustments, not quite the same ones, because, well, you know, I guess, we did actually make some wing adjustments that we do kind of want to keep. So, let me go and get this back to here, I guess. We'll just add on, like, a little bit of wing, and we'll make the suspension harder. Kind of do a little boop to keep the speed balance in check. And there we go. So, 6 laps for him. Tyre choice. New set of softs. Well, I mean, to be honest, he would still be able to keep the old set of softs, which is impressive, you know. I do have to say, in terms of tyre handling, it feels like we've really vastly been able to improve the car. So that's, you know, one positive sign for the start of the season, I guess. But let's see how we go for all the rest of stuff. Now, getting on around the circuit, and now it actually counts for the fastest time. And I know this person up here does have mediums on now. I did see that he or she managed to do that time with soft. So we will definitely have a comparable time here. And we are definitely significantly lower in that slow speed corner section, which is surprising to me. So I thought the slow speed corners was what was influenced by the aero in the end, so it's weird that they would already be that far ahead in the second race of the season in terms of the aero, to be honest, but somehow it seems to be the case. Well, in fact, you know what you do also have to give Hong and Gomez here is that at the end of the day they're driving out there with 6 laps of fuel in the tanks instead of the 3 that probably the AI use, so you know. But in general, you know, the times, I would say, are once more not all too terrible. Not the greatest times ever, but you know, overall, you know, it's nice. And Jesus Christ, that slow speed corner section is really hurting us. Feels like that's the biggest drawback, which is interesting. Which is really interesting instead. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that. But in general, you know, I would say solid training session. We got all the stuff in line. 4th and 6th, you know. It's interesting that Octane is so far back, I have to say. Given the designer they have and the facility improvements they supposedly just had. I am very intrigued by that. Lucatelli. Haven't even heard of these previously. Maybe those are dropouts from the higher up racing series? I have got no idea in the world. In any case, I would say that's a decent start, you know, to the Munich Grand Prix. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We all know the training results aren't really that representative for us for some reason. But we'll go from here, I would say. We've got everything set up. We'll just hope for the best. For the race, I'm actually, in fact, not entirely sure. Race weather is supposed to be just sunny. So, well, hopefully no need for any crazy strategies, and we're going to try and keep it nice and conservative this time around. Not just risk too much. We'll just see what the pace of the cars and the drivers is and how we've changed now compared to the last season. And hopefully, you know, we get that sponsorship objective. We have a semi-solid race, and we'll go from there. We'll pick it up from there, and hopefully, slowly but surely, we'll just get this mill rolling, and we get up to a good bit of strength. I was going to say old strength, but there wasn't really any old strength, so we will find some new strength, hopefully. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. In any case, I would say we're ending it off right here for today. Next time around, we're going for the race, and hopefully it's going to go well. Keep your fingers crossed for me. If you enjoyed this one, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button right down below, of course, for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. With all this stuff out of the way, though, as usual, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope we'll catch each other in the next episode. Ciao.